Hey, thanks for joining me here at the kitchen table for Perkstream, April 21st, 2021. Hey, welcome to Perkstream. I'm glad you can join me. Today it's at the kitchen table as outside's a little bit stormy, windy. So it's just better to be inside right now. So hopefully you have a nice cup of something to drink there as we sit and talk today about our third missional discipleship action. So that thing that we can do to share the life of Jesus with someone else. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about continued opportunity to bless Charlie and Janet, and as well our return to Sunday school May 2nd. So as we talk about life, and we're talking about what it means to share the life of Jesus with others, we have the opportunity to bless people, to strengthen their arm, which is a literal rendition of blessing, to give them something that encourages them in their day. Another thing we can do is we can eat with them, and this third thing that we can do goes with that eating, and that is listening. Listening basically means to make ourselves available to them so that they can share life with us. And it's in the context of sharing life together that we can then share the life of Jesus with them. But it's not just listening to another person that we're going to be practicing, but also listening to the Holy Spirit. Mike Frost talks about listening to the Spirit as that making of space so that we can listen and be prompted and be guided by the Spirit. Now, if you're like me, sitting and just listening and being still is one of the most difficult things we can do. But the good news is this: we have the possibility of doing it much like we do anything else if we take it in a small step and expand it as we go, right? So, expanding means that sometimes you sit for 5 minutes and you just listen and you just say to the Holy Spirit, I know you're here, speak to me, I'm listening. And you do that for 5 minutes, and then you might do that for 10 minutes down the road, and maybe you find yourself expanding the time. Maybe you have a journal that you can write notes in, or you feel prompted with something while you're in that silent mode, so you write it down, or you draw it, or you doodle. However you do it, it gives you this opportunity to listen and be quiet and let the Spirit speak to you. Now, as you're learning to listen to the Holy Spirit, the next thing that comes after that is learning to listen to people. And these two will come together in just a moment. A number of years ago, I was doing a wedding in Glacier National Park, Montana for a family member of Cheryl's. And at that wedding, I had conversation with a young man from New York State, and he talked about his life and how he had been in the church and he walked away from it, and he wasn't sure. He thought he might go back, and I just asked him some questions and gave him some perspective, but I really tried to listen. I really tried to hear his heart and his story. What he said afterwards is the thing that really struck me. He said, I wish that more Christians did what you were doing. I might be more inclined to revisit my faith if people would just listen. Now, I know that we live in a time when people want to be heard. So in order for people to be heard, it takes a group of people who are willing to listen. So I encourage us today to learn to listen. Learn to listen to the Holy Spirit who can prompt us, and learn to listen to the person across from us who has something to share. And where those two come together is when we're actively involved in listening to another person, we let the Spirit guide and lead us in our thinking and our responses. Sometimes I've been in a conversation where I have felt the Holy Spirit say, keep your mouth shut. It may sound like a rather harsh way to put it, but I think sometimes the Spirit does get my attention just to say, keep your mouth closed, this is not the time to speak. And then the next thing that the Spirit prompts me to do is he prompts me to ask a question. So these are things I just want to encourage us with, the possibility that God may use us to speak to someone. And if he's going to do that, that we will have the opportunity to speak into someone's life, partly just because we listen. So that's our encouragement today. Bless someone, eat with someone, listen to someone, and particularly listen to the Holy Spirit, who is over the whole process. In the life of Perk, May 2nd is a time for us to come back together to do Sunday school. Our first time out, we may not actually be holding classes per se. We may just be connecting and getting together. So I would encourage you to prepare for May 2nd as a day of reconnecting with other people. We will ask that masks be used in our groups as they gather, and if it doesn't feel like a comfortable thing for you to do that, then by all means, do not plan to be part of that opportunity, but plan to join us at a later time when you are more comfortable. If you think you lost the opportunity to bless Charlie and Janet with the nest egg, please know that you can still contribute to that fund. We're gathering it through Perk Church, so you can write a check to Perk and just designate it nest egg. You can mail it in. You can do it through your online banking. You can do it through Realm. If you have a membership in Realm, you can give directly online, or you can bring it with you to church and you can put it in the offering box that's in the first column of mailboxes off the lobby. Different ways for you to do that, but we are still gathering funds that we can bless Charlie and Janet with so that they can continue to do the ministry that they do away from Perk. As you know, Charlie and Janet are still serving and still working. They still do the Joy Lunch, still involved in people's lives, still connecting with people on the mission field, and most currently they are serving at Toa Mensen Church in an interim role. So continue to pray for them as they continue to do ministry. And thanks for being part of Perkstream today. Thanks for this time of being able to talk together. I know that you don't have much of a chance to talk back, but hopefully what happens here encourages you as you continue to share the life of Jesus with other people, the life that Jesus has shared with you. God bless you and have a great day.